next thing I'm going to talk about to you is runway models. You know, when you talk about runway, a lot of people think of an airplane runway. Where I come from, we call it the catwalk. And catwalk modeling, or runway modeling, as you call it in America, is one of the most, common types of modeling that most people know about. Now, let's talk about runway models. There are so many different types of runway models, but runway models are mainly fashion models who model clothing on a catwalk. They walk up and down the runway in garments, modeling them on the catwalk for an audience. Runway modeling is probably the most difficult of all modeling categories, as you have to be of a particular body type, usually tall, 5'9" and above, and thin. Runway modeling can be a lot of fun, especially because top models get to travel worldwide and do fashion shows for the big brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Prada, and so many more. The four main markets for runway models are New York, London, Paris, and Milan. However, this does not mean that you have to travel to these markets to start your career. We will talk more about runway modeling and what you need to know if you decide to be a runway model in a later chapter. But first, I'm also going to touch on commercial models. Commercial models are the most popular type of models because we all watch television commercials, don't we? Well, we have talked a lot about commercial models right through this course. Commercial models are the girls and boys next door. You don't have to be tall, thin, or look a certain way to be a commercial model. Anyone can be a commercial model because commercial models come in all shapes and sizes. Basically, commercial models are the boys and girls next door because when you watch a television commercial, you're watching real life. Just look at television commercials and you will see different kinds of people of all shapes and sizes. If you want to get into this type of modeling, you need good professional photos. Build a small portfolio of professional photos showcasing you smiling and let your character and personality shine. Remember, your modeling portfolio may be one of your most important assets you possess. In the past, portfolios were made up of what was referred to as a model book. These were photo albums of your best photos curated so clients could see them, and when you go to appointments, they could see what you could look like in a shoot. But, the next type of modeling I want to talk about is one that is very common now. I want to talk about the IG model, the influencers, the phenomenon that's going around the world right now. So let's talk about IG models because I think Instagram is very interesting because anyone can be an IG model. The IG model phenomena is the latest type of modeling. It has disrupted the modeling industry over the last 5 years. IG is an acronym for Instagram. An IG model means an Instagram model. Instagram is a social media application owned by Facebook on which everyone can go to curate their photos or their lives. When Instagram launched, many people started posting photos, and as they posted, they got followers. Some of them got more followers than others. As people got more followers on Instagram, some advertisers and companies started approaching them to advertise their goods, creating a new market of Instagram models and influencers. The good news about becoming an Instagram model is that you do not need an agent to start. However, the process is rather difficult. Now that the market has become saturated, so you will need to curate a well-curated Instagram account and engage with your followers daily, as well as post at least 3 times a week to build your following. Some models have used Instagram to help them find agents. They start out posting on Instagram and clients and modeling agencies approach them for work. Another good thing about Instagram modeling is that you can create your own identity and just be yourself. Sometimes people are drawn to your individual character. Instagram can also be used as a digital portfolio, and you can send agents and clients there to look at your work and find out more about you. Now, we've talked about Instagram and I've talked about different types of modeling, but another type of modeling are for the bigger girls, which is what we call plus size modeling. Plus size modeling is generally for people that are not fitting, the classic size 4 to 6 to 8. Plus size models are just larger models. When fashion modeling initially started, most models had to be standard size, mainly because most designers designed their clothing to certain specifications. Models had to be a certain height, a certain clothing size to fit the designer's clothes. Though women come in all shapes and sizes, the industry did not consider this, and you could say that it was rather biased and one-sided. But since then, a lot of things have changed. Models, especially commercial models, come in all shapes and sizes. Plus size modeling is the modeling for larger, fuller-figured men and women. The plus size modeling market is a growing market, and most traditional model agencies now have plus size models. There are famous plus size models you may know and like Sophie Dahl and Ashley Green. To become a plus size model, you have to take the same steps as you would when trying to get into fashion or commercial modeling. The first thing to do is find an agent or manager, if you want one. As with fashion modeling, you can start taking shots and posting on Instagram. Getting professional photos will help you get an agent quicker, as this will show them how you look in print. As well as photos, you can create a slate video. Slates help potential agents and managers see what you look like on video, and the photos let them know what you look like on camera or in a flat image. To make a slate video, you record a video of you stating your name, height, measurements, and a bit about yourself. You then turn so they can see your left and right profiles. When you have created the slate video, you are ready to send them to agents. Send your photos out to agents and managers and let them see your potential. But there's still some other types of modeling I haven't talked about, and that's why I'm going to talk a bit about editorial models. Editorial models are the models you see in magazines all the time. Usually, some editorial models are also runway models. I'm sure the first place you probably noticed a fashion model was in a magazine, on a billboard, or on the runway. Editorial models are those frequently featured in magazines including Vogue, Elle, Marie Claire, and Cosmopolitan, and all those magazines you see on the newsstand. Most fashion models do both runway and editorial modeling, but some models tend to either be more editorial or do more runway. Both types of modeling cross over, usually because the same designers featured in the magazine editorials also do the runway shows. Editorials are magazine photo stories that use mostly designer clothes. Editorial magazines are commonly known as fashion magazines for that very reason. So we could conclude by saying that editorial modeling is the same as fashion modeling, as we mentioned earlier in this course. To become an editorial model, you have to join a mainstream fashion modeling agency, as most magazines almost exclusively book models through modeling agencies. At the end of this course, I will give you a list of fashion modeling agencies in an accompanying workbook, as well as links to all the resources that may be helpful in the modeling world. Now, when we talk about modeling, a lot of people think it's only female models. So in this course, I want to talk a lot about male modeling, because modeling is for everyone, male, female, whatever you are. Modeling is one profession that is totally inclusive, regardless of race, color, gender. So we're going to talk about male models. When most people think of models, they usually think of female models, but in the last 25 years, the male fashion industry has grown exponentially. In the past, people did not think that male modeling was a real job, but decades have passed and the mindset has changed. There are many successful male models in all fields of modeling today. So when I talk about modeling, I refer to both male and female models, and not just female models per se, I refer to male models as well. The modeling industry is for everyone, regardless of race, gender, or physical characteristics. Most agencies represent both male and female models. Another type of modeling I haven't talked about is child modeling. Anyone under the age of 15 in the modeling industry is considered a child model. There's so many children models around. So, I'm sure you've seen a lot of commercials where you see young kids that are modeling, and magazines and catalogs. Fashion models usually start their careers around the age of 15, but commercial models can start at any age. Most commercials feature people from different age groups, so commercial models that appear in catalogs or on TV can start their career at any age. There are certain rules and restrictions that pertain to child models. This differs in various countries and also in different cities. But one universal rule is that a parent or guardian must supervise the child. In future chapters of this course, I will explain more about child modeling and give you some basic guidelines as they pertain to this aspect of modeling. Child modeling can be fun for both parent and child. Still, it is not necessarily as easy as you think, as it involves taking the child to auditions, castings, callbacks, fittings, and accompanying them on set and shoots. That said, modeling as a child can be a great start to a successful modeling career.